Hello, my name's Blossoms and welcome to another Genshin Impact video, and a lot of people have been getting their hands on Yae, and a select few even have gotten her weapon. So today we're going to be going over some Yae Miko team comps you might want to try for yourself. I've been trying a bunch of teams myself, and I am enjoying her a ton, despite some of the glitches that she's had, and I think they're all pretty good. But of course I didn't come up with every team comp, and if you have a different team comp or a variation of one of the team comps I'm showing you today, I would love to see it in the comment section below, as I do like to try out a bunch of different teams myself. But we've got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, starting off with the general kind of rule of thumb, I did want to say this before we get into anything. Yae Miko is very good at off-field electro damage and is a really solid sub DPS. That's kind of the slot she wants to be in, and as a result of that, she can kind of fit into most teams that you would be putting your official in. So if you have some favorite official teams, Yae Miko is going to be a good replacement there. There are some pros and cons to doing so. There are some scenarios where official is just going to be better for the team, and some scenarios where Yae is just going to be better for the team, so you're just going to have to figure that out for yourself and what you particularly like more in your favorite official team. With that out of the way, I did want to go ahead and establish that Yae Miko is a good electro off-field damage dealer, and that is typically going to be her role in most of the teams that we're going to be showing here today. You can of course run her as a main DPS, and that's just as fine and viable. A lot of these teams work for that as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and show off the first team. Our first team here being Yae Miko, Kokomi, Fischl, and Kazuha. This team is my absolute favorite, I will say. I'm a big fan of Electro Charge reaction, so Electro Charge is a big one for me, so I knew Yae Miko would be a really good character for me, and I'm hoping Ayato is going to be an amazing character for me as well, because if his kit works for a good Electro Charge team, then I'm going to be a happy camper. But yeah, this team is super fun. Having Fischl and Yae Miko for that Electro Resonance is really strong, allows Yae Miko's Elemental Burst to be up all of the time along with everybody else's. It makes it very easy to get to that 90 cost Elemental Burst. So that's very nice, and you could replace Fischl here with Raiden Shogun if you have somebody like Raiden Shogun. The reason I'm running Fischl in this team is because I have Elegy of the End, and that increases the team's Elemental Mastery, which of course is going to make this team really good considering Kazuha works off Elemental Mastery, and the Electro Charge is going to get some more damage, and then so is Yae Miko's E-skill, so that I really like having Fischl in this team for that reason. Of course, pretty much all of these characters are replaceable. Kokomi could be slotted out for somebody like Xingqiu or Barbara if you really wanted to. I still think Kokomi is the best slot for that. You could have Fischl be Raiden Shogun if you really wanted to, and then Kazuha could be Sucrose just as easily. If not, Sucrose might be a slightly better unit because of her Elemental Mastery bestowal, and she, fulfills the same function as having that grouping mechanic. Now, I really wish we had an Electro Healer, because that would make this quite a bit easier on me, and you could swap out some other units for some other Hydro units in the future or stuff like that, but we'll get there when we get there. Hopefully one day we get that Electro Healer. But yeah, this team is a ton of fun. There's a lot of swappable elements to it. I really like the in-depth that this team has, like something like having the Elegy of the End for Fischl, or having Prototype Amber for Kokomi to help with your energy needs as well as healing. So I really do enjoy this team. It is a ton of fun, and I highly recommend you try out this or a variation of it. For Team 2, we have another fun team here, that being Eula, Yae Miko, Diona, and the Raiden Shogun here. This one is very fun because Eula is one of the strongest physical DPS in the game, and Yae being a good off-field electro dealer means you're going to be getting some really consistent superconduct going, and when you have Raiden Shogun, that means you're basically guaranteed to superconduct anytime you do something cryo, meaning you are always going to be getting that defense shred for your Eula to be dishing out as much damage as possible. Another really nice factor to this team is that it has double cryo and double electro. So the double electro is helping with your high cost elemental burst on Raiden Shogun, Yae Miko, and Eula, as well as somebody like Diona. But then the cryo resonance is also giving you that increased crit rate, which I think is fantastic. Diona's here just as a healer. Of course, you could put Chi-Chi here. That is totally fine as well. Chi-Chi's a really good slot in there. I just like the shield myself, and then the elemental burst is going to be our healing source. If we had an electro healer, I'd probably be replacing a Raiden Shogun for that electro healer, just to have somebody like Rosaria who accents Eula a little bit better in my opinion, and then also provides some extra on-field mobility. But it is what it is. As I said, we don't have that electro healer. This team is still very, very strong, and I really enjoy it, as it really does help Eula just deal that really big physical damage. All right, my Overload gamers. For Team 3, we have Yae, Bennett, Yae Miko, and Fischl. And this team has some replaceables as well. If you don't have somebody like Yae and you really like somebody like Yanfei, she's going to be a good choice too. This team also has the double resonance going with the double pyro, giving you that extra attack, and then the double electro, helping with those energy problems that Yae Miko does have. Electro resonance is very good for Yae Miko. And having Bennett here is just going to be our healer. We don't have another pyro unit, so we're kind of stuck with Bennett. You could, of course, run whatever healer you want with this. You could even slot in Xingqiu to kind of have a fireworks comp going there. But I found the resonance to just be a little bit more valuable in my opinion. And then, of course, the consistent healing to be a little bit more valuable. And also the damage buff, of course, is fantastic. And Fischl is really good here. Raiden Shogun is also an excellent choice for this team, along with Yae Miko. They just pair fantastically. And if you really wanted, you could replace Fischl here with somebody like Xingqiu if you're not too worried about the energy problems that Yae Miko kind of has. All right, and for our last team here, we have Yae Miko, Kokomi, Kazuha, and Xiao. And I did want to mention this team mostly because it's pretty much our only non-electro resonance team. Because Yae Miko, although electro resonance does accentuate her fantastically and helps with their energy problems, it's not needed in my opinion. It's really good, don't get me wrong, but you don't absolutely have to follow that rule of thumb. Having Xiao here and then like the battery Kazuha and them helping each other with their energy, and then having Kokomi as your healer to also provide some electro charge for Yae Miko is really, really good. I also really enjoy the pairing of Yae Miko with Xiao because her elemental skill lasts for quite the long time, around 14 seconds, and she is one of the only ones that has an elemental skill that's long enough to last at least pretty close to the duration of Xiao's elemental burst, because Xiao has a very long elemental burst duration. So having a character that can actually keep up with Xiao's elemental burst, at least for the most part, I think is extremely valuable in the first place. And since I'm a big electro charge lover, then, well, she's going to be a really good pick for my Xiao teams going forward, and I'm very excited for that as well. I also wanted to bring in one honorable mention, and that is a full Geo comp with Yae Miko, as this is a pretty cool option. And being able to have all of your Geo homies that you typically would have for kind of a full Geo comp, like a Goro, you know, insert X-Geo character and then like Arataki Ito as your main DPS, and then just having one of these boys run the Archaic Petra set to grab up those Electro crystallize reactions to make Yae Miko's elemental skill deal that much more damage is really, really strong. There's also one more honorable mention that I wanted to talk about. I just didn't have the characters to demonstrate it, but somebody like Yae Miko along with the Raiden Shogun and then having somebody like Kujo Sarah is a really good full electro party. And then you get somebody like Kokomi or Barbara to be like a hydro unit to also do some electro charge with. But if you have some constellations on Sarah, she allows you to deal some extra damage with your electro characters. Same with Raiden Shogun, she likes having electro characters with her if you have one of her constellations. So a full electro comp is entirely viable with those three. I just don't have Kujo Sarah nor the constellations to show that off, but I did want to go ahead and mention it. That's going to be it for our teams. I hope you guys enjoyed them, and I hope they help you build your team. If you have a different team comp, as I said below, let me know in the comment section, as I would like to see it. But other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want to thank you personally, as making it this far in the video is unlikely, and I deeply appreciate your support. But yeah, anyway, my name is Blossoms, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.